Velkommen til Studyseas webinar i dag, som handler om studiemuligheder på Macromedia University, inklusiv Cours Florent og Atelier Chardon Savard. Jeg er heldig at have repræsentanten fra Macromedia og Cours Florent og Atelier Chardon Savard med her i dag, som om et par minutter vil få ordet og fortælle meget mere omkring de her skoler og uddannelser. Mit navn er Mickey Kromann-Jensen, og jeg er stifter af Studysea, som står bag webinaret her, og som kan hjælpe dig, hvis du går og overvejer at læse i udlandet, for eksempel på en af de 3 skoler her, vi skal tale om i dag. Indholdet, eller hvad skal man sige, agendaen for i dag, jamen kort fortalt, så vil jeg gerne lige introducere Studysea. Herefter så får Anne Brøger ordet og præsenterer Macromedia og de 2 øvrige skoler. Efter Annes præsentation, så fortæller jeg lidt omkring de finansieringsmuligheder, der er både for det offentlige og private. Og så helt til sidst, så har vi en Q&A-session, hvor du kan få mulighed for at få svar på dine spørgsmål. Webinaret bliver optaget, men Q&A-sessionen til sidst kommer ikke med på optagelsen. Hvordan hjælper Studysea, eller hvad hjælper vi med? Jamen, vi er en privat virksomhed, har kontor i Odense, men hjælper studerende fra hele landet med at komme til udlandet og studere. Groft sagt, så er vi opdelt i 2 områder. Det ene hedder studier i udlandet, det andet hedder praktik i udlandet. Når vi taler om studier i udlandet, så er Studysea officiel repræsentant for en række forskellige udenlandske universiteter, så vi er repræsentant i Danmark for de udenlandske universiteter. Vi har over 80 universiteter, som vi samarbejder med, og der er, hvad kan man sige, fordelen ved det er, at du som studerende kan få gratis hjælp og vejledning fra Studysea, fordi vi bliver finansieret af de universiteter, som vi samarbejder med. Det betyder så også, at vi kan ikke hjælpe dig til skoler, vi ikke har et samarbejde med. Udover studier i udlandet, så formidler vi også praktik i udlandet. Er det noget, du er interesseret i, så har vi et helt specifikt webinar, der udelukkende handler om det, som du kan finde ind på vores YouTube-kanal. Hvordan hjælper Studysea? Her er lidt sådan en tidslinje, hvis man kan sige det. Vi prøver på at gøre det så nemt overskueligt som overhovedet muligt, og tager det hele processen, som er lang og omfattende, jamen, den deler vi op i bidder, eller faser, om man så kan sige. Første tanke, jamen har du en idé om, du gerne vil til udlandet og studere, men du ved ikke, hvor kan jeg blive optaget med de karakterer, jeg har, hvor har jeg råd til at tage hen, hvad for en by eller land, eller universitet passer mig bedst, hvilken uddannelse osv. Jamen så er vi, hvad kan man sige, har vi vejlednings- eller afklaringsfasen, altså første tanke, hvor du kan tage fat i os og bede om at få noget vejledning. Forhåbentlig kan vi så finde frem til 1 eller 2, eller måske flere skoler og uddannelser, som passer til dig, og dem du så prioriterer højst, jamen dem vil vi gå i gang med at hjælpe dig med at ansøge til, hvis du vil gå videre. Og der hjælper vi selvfølgelig både med i forhold til guider dig igennem ansøgningsforløbet. Der er dels det med at søge ind på det udenlandske universitet, men der er også nogle ting bag scenen. Hvis det er en hel uddannelse, du vil læse, så skal du også have forhåbentlig noget SU med. Og der er også en proces der hedder at få uddannelsen op på SU's fast track liste, hvis den ikke allerede er det. Det er også noget, vi hjælper med at indhente den nødvendige dokumentation til det. Er du study abroad studerende, altså vil du læse et semester i udlandet som en del af din uddannelse i Danmark, så er det noget med nogle fag, du skal have forhåndsgodkendt af din uddannelsesinstitution i Danmark, og det hjælper vi naturligvis også med. Når du er optaget, og det skal siges heldigvis sådan, er det sådan, at over 98% af de ansøgere, vi hjælper og ender med at blive optaget. Vi kan ikke garantere noget selvfølgelig, men vi har en rimelig god track record, om man så kan sige. Så når du er optaget, så er du i det, vi kalder pre-departure stadiet. Og her du får blandt andet en pre-departure guide fra os, som er specifikt til det land, du skal til, hvor der vil være alle de her praktiske steps, du skal have styr på, før du rejser afsted. Det kan være alt fra forsikring og bolig og visum og så videre. Du får et eksempel på en god legatansøgning fra os også, så du kan komme i gang med at søge nogle legater, som kan støtte dig økonomisk til din uddannelse og dit ophold. Vi har nogle Facebook-grupper på vores mest populære destinationer, så du også kan connecte med andre, vi hjælper afsted til samme destination, eller måske allerede er der. Når du har styr på alt det praktiske, så handler det selvfølgelig bare om at rejse afsted, og der har vi heldigvis på destinationerne nogle skoler, som har rigtig god support for internationale studerende. Har du brug for hjælp eller spørgsmål, eller brug for at blive sat i kontakt med den rigtige person på skolen, så er du også velkommen til at tage fat i os, mens du er på destinationen. Ofte, når vi hører fra studerende, så handler det om en bestemt form for dokumentation, for eksempel til SU, og det hjælper vi selvfølgelig også glædeligt med. Når du kommer hjem igen, så er du en del af vores alumnenetværk. Så vi har blandt andet en Facebook-gruppe og en LinkedIn-gruppe, som du kan connecte med andre, der har været i udlandet og gennemført en uddannelse eller et ophold igennem Studysea. Under det her forløb, der har du hvad skal man sige, adgang til en personlig vejleder, ofte mig selv. Så er der spørgsmål, er der noget, der ikke giver mening, så kan du altid tage fat i os, så skal vi jo nok prøve at hjælpe dig bedst muligt. Det var lige sådan kort, hvad jeg havde at sige. Now is the time for me to present Anne Brøger from Macromedia, and I think first we have, you already unmuted yourself, Anne, that's great. Then I don't know if you are able to share, or if I need to stop sharing, I'll just stop sharing my own.
Just try to share mine and we will see if that works. Can you see the presentation?
Yes.
Perfect. Okay,
and,
wonderful.
Yeah. Thanks a lot, Anne, for taking time to present to our students and doing this webinar. I know you will be talking about Macromedia, but also the two other brands under Macromedia, the acting school, Cours Florent, and the design school, Atelier Chardon Savard. And I'll give you the word now, and when you're done, I'll do a little bit talking about the financing options, and then we'll do the Q&A session at the end.
Okay, perfect. Thanks, Mickey, and thank you very much for having me. It's really a pleasure. So exactly, I will speak a little bit about Macromedia University and our sister schools, Cours Florent and Atelier Chardon Savard. My name is Anne. I am heading the International Study Advisory Team, and I have been with Macromedia for more than 11 years, and we'll try to share a couple of points here. You can see the agenda here. We will go through a couple of points about Macromedia. I will show you the locations, where can you actually study, what can you actually study, so which programs do we have on offer in this current fall and next summer term. I will speak a little bit about our acting program with Cours Florent and a little bit about our fashion design program with Atelier Chardon Savard, and show you let's say one study project as an example of how our didactics and our approach to teaching and learning looks like. And then there will be a couple of takeaways just as a short reminder. I will try to be fast, but of course there will be also the possibility to ask some questions about details. If you have questions, for example, about what kind of documents you need or what are the tuition fees, etc. These are things that we could discuss also afterwards. So I'll go back to the presentation about Macromedia University for now. These are a couple of numbers just so that you are aware and you have an idea about how large our university is, or how small, depending on who you compare it to. We have currently around 140 lecturers and 4,750 students in Germany. We have more than 500 industry partners actually that our students work with and do study projects with, go into internships or start their careers upon graduation. And we have more than 80, approximately 85 until 90 nationalities shared all over our German campuses. Most of these international students you will find on the Berlin and Munich campus, but I'll get to that now. You can see the campus locations. We have currently 8 campus locations all over Germany. And we see that Berlin and Munich are emphasized here They're printed in bold, which means these are the 2 locations that would be most relevant for the international students. Here we have programs that are taught entirely in English, which means it's always good to know a couple of words in German. And I do know that a lot of Danish students know a little bit of German, which is always an advantage. But for these English spoken programs, you do not need to have some kind of formal German proficiency test or any kind of certificate of the same. It can be helpful, but especially in Berlin, it's very fine to go around the city in English as well for the start. You can see a little bit of our locations. I did want to bring a couple of pictures so you get an idea. I mean, it's always the best option to, of course, go and have a look at the campus yourself. But for international students, that's often difficult. So we do have a virtual campus tour as well, which I can send. You can find it on YouTube for the Berlin campus, which is our most international one at the moment, together with Munich. And here you can see a couple of pictures from the Berlin campus. You see a little bit of the fashion design area at the top. You can see on the left-hand side already a small hint that we do have media labs on all campus locations with equipment for VR and AR projects and work. So our students are working with this equipment regularly in their project work. You can see a couple of computer rooms, normal rooms. This would be the Munich location where you can see a small film studio. You can see some seating, lounging areas, and of course also the computer rooms and a small cinema for the film students and acting students. This is something that I wanted to show you, not because the campus is relevant for internationals yet, but because of our new branding. This is our brand new campus in Frankfurt, and you can see how the brand team has kind of introduced a new brand, and this is the color scheme that you will see in the future on all our campuses. This is why I wanted to show you already. At the moment, we have renovations going on, and that's what you're going to see more and more step by step in the next couple of months and years. So what can you study with us? I want to show you the programs for the next years, and first of all, maybe discuss what kind of intake possibilities we have. So we have a summer semester and a winter semester. So summer term or summer semester is starting 15th of March. And we have selected master programs starting in this term. So if you're interested in a master program, it might be an intake that could be relevant to you. Our winter semester is the most relevant for the international students. It's starting on October 1st. And all our programs are starting here, including all the bachelor undergraduate programs. So this is most likely the intake that is most relevant to you. We have 2 faculties. One is the Culture, Media, and Psychology faculty, and you can see the programs and the possibilities here. We teach film and television in Berlin, media and communication management in Berlin, brand management, music management in Berlin, and acting together with our sister, Cours Florent. I will speak a little bit more about that in a couple of minutes. We have in the Faculty of Business Design and Technology the opportunity to study media and communication design, business management, fashion management within the business track, and fashion design together with our sister Atelier Chardon Savard from France. Now, the admission is interesting mainly for non-European Union students or all the students that do not have like a direct certificate of entrance for the German universities. In Denmark, it's not very often a problem, but of course, also in Denmark, there are students that would not be able to enter directly into the German university system to study a bachelor. For these students, we will always have a possibility to find admission as well. We have, on the one hand side, a cooperation with the Regent's University in London, which would cover the opportunities to go into the media management or management sector. You can see the detailed programs lined up under the Regent's University partnership tile here. And then for the artistic programs, we have a different kind of solution because we have like an artistic accreditation, which is something that universities or arts universities in Germany can get, which allows us to enroll students based on artistic aptitude. This is relevant for the very creative programs that you can see listed here. This means that you have to do like an artistic task or a portfolio, something similar, and this will be evaluated in whole, often together with an interview by our faculty. And if the faculty approves of the overall profile of the student, we will be able to allow the students also to enter the university. If you have detailed questions about that, you can get in touch with Mickey or with me. We're very happy to tell you because this process differs a little bit depending on if you're interested in design, film or fashion or acting. I just wanted to make sure that you understand that there's always a possibility, even if, you know, the first idea would be that the German university system is not open to you. It might be, in fact, and you can always get in touch with us about that. We have another very nice opportunity that I would definitely like to talk about very quickly. We have the opportunity to go for 2 degrees in one, basically. So what would happen is that you would study the same duration as our normal bachelor programs and also have the same fees as our normal bachelor programs, but you would graduate from the University of the Regent's University in London, Regent's University of London with the first degree, which is a Bachelor of Honours from the UK. And then after the last term, you do 6 terms first, and then you will do a 7th term, which is 3.5 years altogether. And after you've done the last term, we can validate this degree, and you will also receive the Bachelor of Arts, the German bachelor degree from Macromedia University. As I said, there were no additional costs, except that you need to consider studying 7 instead of 6 terms, which is the case already for a lot of our bachelor terms anyway. So it's real nice opportunity. I think it's very international, and you would go home with like 2 degrees of the 2 of the most renowned countries if it comes to education, and they're like recognized worldwide. So it's a very nice opportunity. This is open to media management and management students. This is an example because when I explain it like this and you've never heard about it, I know that it seems like very complex or it sounds a bit complicated. So I just brought the example of business management here, and you can see that you will do 6 semesters first of all and graduate formally from Regent's University in London. And then you would add the 7th term at the end, which makes it 3.5 years altogether and 210 ECTS. And you will also receive the BA from Macromedia University. I hope this makes it a little bit more clear. Otherwise, let me know at the end. So the master programs, I will cover them at least quickly. We have also the 2 faculties here, of course, and you can see that in the Culture, Media and Psychology faculty, we have options within Media and Communication Management, which are either the generic media and communication management, it's quite broad, it's more for the all-rounder, or you can specialize and go for either brand or music management or for digital media business. This is possible in Munich and possible in Berlin. If you want to know about a very specific combination, let's say you want to do digital media business or music management, let us know, we will tell you if that's possible at both locations or just one of them. And then the business design and technology faculties offering business management, strategic marketing, both of them are within the business track, or design management, which is very popular and it's run by Oliver Sass in Munich. So what do? We try to prepare you for your personal success. And how do we do that? I do want to go briefly through this because it's very important to understand how we're like approaching our didactics. Now we want to combine the teaching and learning on campus, where you have like very personal experience and in-depth discussions with your teachers, your professors and lecturers, with the virtual settings that we have nowadays. Obviously, it would be sad to let an opportunity like this pass and not use the flexibility that these tools allow nowadays. So how can you imagine something like that? So when you imagine that there is, for example, a very like broad lecture, like introduction into management theory or something like that, or into economics, almost all the students have to hear it, okay, unless you're in a very artistic area. So you can see that it would make sense to hear this lecture maybe at home, and in front of a lot of students. You'll be able to kind of stream this lecture, and you would hear it at home, and then you would go to a meeting on campus and meet your classmates and meet the professors, and be able to ask some in-depth questions about that, maybe at a later stage when you have done a little bit of research, when you have collected a couple of questions, and then would make sense to meet in small groups again. We are also having a large emphasis, or we're very strong with group work and small groups working on like separate little projects during the semester. And here it is very similar. At the beginning, you might need some input, you might need some content, you might need to do some like basic research, which you can do more or less flexible in time and in delivery mode. But then you would, of course, have to meet up with your teammates at some stage. You might have to prepare presentations to bring to the company that you are possibly working together with or cooperating with for that semester. And here it makes sense to kind of go in between virtual activities and like meeting, individual coaching, smaller groups on campus. So basically, whenever it makes sense, we're using virtual tools, and whenever it makes sense to be like personal and meet on campus, this is what we're doing. And we're trying to get the best out of all the options on how you can study these days. So you will definitely have some online activities that give you more flexibility, but you will also have the campus experience and the close ties to your lecturers and your professors, which is really important for us. How else do we do it, and how else do we support it? We have career service, which I find very important, and it's quite elaborate. They're hosting a career day on all the campuses every year. So you'll meet people from businesses in person. You will meet companies. We've had, for example, Apple as a keynote speaker for those career days. You can imagine it like a fair just for the Macromedia students. You can come with your CV if you're getting closer to your internship. You can apply, yeah, it's a really nice network opportunity. We do visits at our businesses, our partner companies outside of the lectures. So you can sometimes just go in a group of students. You would be invited to one of those companies and just be shown around and yeah, gain some insights. We do workshops in the career service, for example, CV coaching, which can be really relevant for international students because CVs have to look differently in different countries, but also yeah, how to do public speaking, how to behave in your or how to manage in your job interviews, tax advice, even everything that would help you basically to up your career. And there's also mentoring, which could be community mentors, meaning also professors, but also alumni, students that have done a successful career after graduating from Macromedia University, or, for example, as well, company partners and the contacts in those companies. So I did want to say a couple of words about acting as well. Our acting program is basically like a very modern acting program or a degree that combines the artistic, the practical, and the theoretical aspects. So yes, it's an academic university degree. You will graduate with a state-approved Bachelor of Arts. So it is theoretical, and it is very profound and worldwide accepted as well. But at the same time, of course, it doesn't make sense to study acting only on a theoretical basis. So yes, it's very practical, and it's combining both of the sides basically. Besides acting and everything that is important to become an actor and to develop your skills, we are also adding a couple of modules and content around employability and self-marketing, how to communicate, which would be needed, how to be successful, project management, I think is one part we will see on the next slide, in fact. Next to just the artistic side of acting, you will learn also what you will need to do later on to be successful and to understand how to put the word out about yourself. And this is just as important, because you can be the best actor that you want. If nobody knows about it and you don't know how to present yourself, it's not going to succeed in the end. So for us, it's important to combine that. There will be a full-time internship, which is valid, I think, for all our undergraduate programs towards the end of the studies. In the case of acting, you can see here, I will show you now the actual curriculum, and you can see that it's the second last semester. You will do 7 semesters overall, and the second last is a full-time internship semester next to doing a student initiative and the communication skills, and the 7th term is basically about your bachelor thesis. So you'll do 2.5 years, and then you start with your internship and then your bachelor thesis. You can see here that academic writing and research is a part of it. So is project management, communication skills. All of these things are important. But at the same time, you see as well that, of course, this program is about acting. You do breathing techniques, you do speech, voices, body work, basically everything that you need for theater or for TV and film. So it's broad. You will definitely be able to go into different sectors. Digital media, of course, is nowadays also a very important sector for actors and actresses. But you have the opportunities within film and theater and TV as well. All right, I think for a short outline, that's fine. And we will go over to fashion design, which we offer together with Atelier Chardon Savard, a French fashion school, one of the best fashion schools that France has to offer. And we combine here a degree that is focusing on innovation and artistic representation. And we combine that with the advantages of digitization. I will explain a little bit more about that in detail if you're interested in it later on. It is possible, of course, nowadays to use software to create fashion, but there are also digital dresses already nowadays. So it's really interesting. And of course, one option is also to go into digital creative areas with the fashion design degree. You don't have to, but it's definitely an opportunity nowadays. You will finish with an internship. So as you see on the next slide, the internship will be at the very last semester in this case, which allows the students to continue their career in fashion nicely from the internship if they prefer to do that. Also, this is a recognized bachelor degree of Macromedia University. It's given in Berlin. So was acting, by the way. I maybe forgot to mention that, sorry. And so in Berlin, of course, it's one of the fashion capitals. And it does have, so do we, have a nice focus on sustainability. So that's really something that's moving the professors and the lecturers in Berlin on Atelier Chardon Savard at the moment. There will be 1 or 2 examples for projects later on, so that you can imagine what that means nowadays. You can combine also here your fashion design skills with project management, communication, and entrepreneurship, just so you understand how to put yourself out there, how to put the word out, how to actually, found your own label, if that's what you want to do. It's just one of the options, but of course, you will need to know how. And here we're teaching entrepreneurship to kind of support this, and communication skills, as you see as well, and project management, next to the things that are, of course, very important and most important to become a fashion designer: textiles, life drawing we're doing. That's also something that really not every fashion school is doing anymore these days. Innovation, garments, and basically everything that you do. And you can see here already that we are trying to include also the digital options with digital creative tools, 3D ritual collections, things like that. But at the same time, you will learn the actual tailoring and pattern designs at the same time. So it's a very profound and kind of round project or program that will give you all the alternatives. Future job profiles for fashion design are actually there are very many opportunities. I will not read through them now, but if you are interested, you can of course go through this, or ask a question later. I can send you the slide, or you can, if it's a recording, you can of course stop quickly. And you can see again here that there are a lot of digital options next to the traditional options, of course. So I did want to show you a study project outside of acting and fashion design at this moment. As I said earlier, we have more than 500 partner companies. You can see a couple of names here, but it's difficult to get more than 500 on one slide. I did want to show you one project that I particularly liked about smart urban mobility in Berlin that our students did with Mercedes-Benz. I do like that this is an interdisciplinary project that the master's and bachelor students did together, and also the media communication students did together with the smart city design students, and also the business management students and media communication management, I think I mentioned already. So the idea was to kind of understand what kind of solutions there could be for craftsmen in big cities. The craftsmen need to go through the cities with like huge vans normally, and there's a lot of traffic if you know Berlin. So how to go on about that. And the students worked on some mobility solutions, very creative mobility solutions that could be implemented in the future for the craftsman sector. How to deal with the large tools that are needed, how to get them from A to B. And the head of Smart City of Mercedes-Benz Vans was really impressed with the students' work. And some of the projects are often, also in this case, but also in other projects, are kind of staying with the company, and they develop it further so that those kind of ideas actually come into life, which I think is really rewarding for the students. It's just great work. And this is kind of how Macromedia University tries to combine the theoretical aspects, the theoretical university content that you learn and that you read about, and then you learn how to bring it into life with an actual partner or actual client that will give you a briefing, and you have to work on a solution. You work in small groups, you go back to the partner, you do a rebriefing, and then at some stage you go to the headquarters. As you can see here, the students with the professors at the Mercedes-Benz headquarters. and you present it to your client. So this is kind of a normal setup that we do. Of course, not every semester you will be working with companies like Mercedes, but there could be 1 or 2 big names throughout your whole studies. And then you would work maybe also with startups or mid-sized companies in other terms. But for us, this is like the main pillar of how we understand the transition between the theory and implementing it into practice. So some takeaways for the benefits of Macromedia University, the quality of teaching and personal support that is still there, even though there are virtual components in your studies. We're state approved, which also leads to funding possibilities. I think Mickey will say something after I have finished also for the Danish students and how that works. The master programs are non-consecutive. I did not mention that earlier, but it's really important. If you come with a bachelor that is not related to the master program that you're interested in, it is possible to study that if you can explain well what your motivation is. So it is not formally needed to have done a bachelor in business, for example, if you want to go into a business master program. And then there's stay back option of 18 months. This is relevant mainly for non-EU students, not so much for Danish students, so we will skip it quickly. We are closely tied to the practice. Remember the project that I just showed you. Our students are learning from industry experts, and this is relevant for all programs. We have classroom teaching. We have classroom teaching 2 or 3 days a week. And then, as we mentioned earlier, it is combined with virtual components. We have a large network of over 500 project partners that the students get to meet up, mingle with, work with. It's been really helpful for our students to have been in touch already with different kinds of companies that you can add to your CV before you actually graduate through the different projects that the students are doing together with the university. And the campus experience, as you would expect it, with events and even parties and meeting up and being in touch with your lecturers and professors, going to the library, etc., is all still there, despite, of course, the flexibility that we are providing through the online components. I think this was it from my side at the moment. I'm not sure about the timing, Mickey. How did I do? Yeah. Was it too long?
No. Everything fine. No worries at all.
Okay, perfect, wonderful.
Thanks so much, Anna, for presenting great opportunities there. And I must say also, I visited, of course, Macromedia in Berlin as well. I was very impressed with your facilities, but also the teaching style and the practical approach and all the project work you have. I think that if somebody is looking for something that's not just theoretical, but also, practical and making you job ready, then Macromedia is a really good choice.
Thank you.
Let me see if I can share again my presentation. Where do we have that? Hopefully you'll see.
Should I stop my presentation? I will just stop it quickly.
I don't know if you see. Are you seeing mine now?
Now I do.
Okay, perfect. Then I will go on here in Danish. Let's see. Yes. Jamen, så er vi nået til den del, der handler om penge. Finansieringsmuligheder. Ja, vi har i Danmark noget, der hedder udlandsstipendieordningen. Det var 2008, den blev introduceret, og den giver der mulighed for at tage i praksis mulighed for at tage taxametertilskud med dig til udlandet. Det vil sige, de penge, som en dansk uddannelsesinstitution modtager fra staten, dem kan du få med til udlandet i op til 2 år til at dække helt eller delvis den studieafgift eller tuition fees, der er på det udenlandske universitet, hvor det jo ofte koster penge at studere. Det er jo ikke alt, man kan få udlandsstipendium med til, men man kan altså få det med til en hel uddannelse, som er på kandidatniveau, altså efter afsluttet bachelor. Og man kan få det i op til 2 år højst. Man kan også få udlandsstipendium med til et meritgivende studieophold, som altså er led i en dansk videregående uddannelse. Så læse. Jeg vil være opmærksom også her selvfølgelig, at det er også stadig maks op til 2 år. Der er ikke nogen, der får lov til som regel at tage på et studieophold, der varer 2 år, men det kan måske være 1 eller 2 semester. Benytter man et semester under for eksempel sin bachelor, så senere vil hen at læse hele kandidaten eller masteruddannelsen i udlandet, så skal man lige være opmærksom på, at så har man jo kun til 1,5 år, altså 3 semester tilbage af udlandsstipendiet. Satsen for udlandsstipendium, det afhænger af uddannelse, og jeg har lidt forskellige eksempler her. Hvis det er et studieophold, du skal på, tager du et semester ude, som svarer til 30 ECTS, så kan du få mellem 22.150.000 kroner med, og op til 46.150, hvis det er en universitetsuddannelse, du læser. Og så er det jo ofte, at humanistiske uddannelser, samfundsvidenskabelige uddannelser, de ligger på den lave sats, hvor at tekniske uddannelser, ingeniøruddannelser og lignende, de ligger på den høje sats. Så der er altså forskel på, hvad man læser, og hvor mange penge man får med. Der kan også være en forskel, fordi man kan for eksempel læse en ingeniøruddannelse, men få lov til at læse valgfag, eller få lov til at læse for eksempel businessfag, når man er i udlandet. Der kan man altså risikere, hvis man er ingeniørstuderende og berettet til den høje sats, kun tager businessfag, som normalt går til den lave sats, så kan man altså risikere kun at få den lave sats med. Så der kan også være en idé i at tænke over, hvad det er for nogle af fagene, man læser, når man er afsted. Omvendt kan man desværre ikke som businessstuderende tage tekniske fag og så få en højere sats med. Der vil man stadig få den lave sats med. Der ligger nogle uddannelser, hvor satsen er indimellem. Kommunikation for eksempel plejer at ligge på et par 30.000 kroner i udlandsstipendium per semester. Professionsbacheloruddannelse, der svinger den en hel del mere, mellem 28.000 og 68.000, sådan cirka. Erhvervsakademiuddannelse mellem 28.000 og 54.000. Og skibsfører og maskinmester, den officielt set er 54.000. I realiteten får studerende ofte lidt lavere med, et lavere beløb med. Det er egentlig sidst ende op til den danske uddannelsesinstitution og bestemme, hvor meget man får med i udlandsstipendium. Så det er ikke helt så gennemsigtigt igen, som det er sat op her. SU kan man selvfølgelig stadig få med, og SU-lån. Og så er der også noget, der hedder udlandsstudielån. Og det er jo det tilfælde, hvis studieafgiften er højere end det, du får med i udlandsstipendium, så kan man altså låne sig til resten, dog maks op til det maksbeløb, der hedder ca. 111.000 kroner. Man kan aldrig få mere med i udlandsstipendium, end hvad den faktiske studieafgift er. Så man kan altså ikke putte overskud i lommen, hvis der er et overskud. Helt kandidatuddannelse i udlandet, der er satserne sådan her. Humanistiske samfundsvidenskabelige uddannelser, den hedder 88.600 per år. Undskyld, ikke per år, for en helt 2-årig periode eller uddannelse. Og kompensationen, den ligger så inde imellem på 126.200 kroner. IT, marinbiologi, fysik, ingeniør, der er vi oppe på 184.600 kroner. Så der vil være en del steder, hvor man kan studere gratis med den høje sats. Udlandsstudielån kan man stadig supplere med, og så er der selvfølgelig stadig SU-lån og SU, udboende SU, man kan få, når man læser i udlandet. Øvrige finansieringsmuligheder, der er selvfølgelig legater, og det er en rigtig god måde at få nogle ekstra penge ind, og det får størstedelen af vores studerende også, når de læser i udlandet. Det er egentlig uanset om det er studieophold eller om det er en hel uddannelse. Jeg har også selv læst i udlandet og lykkes egentlig med at få min studieafgift finansieret helt af legater, så det kan jeg kun varmt anbefale, at man også bruger noget tid og energi på at søge legater. Scholarships, når jeg skriver scholarships på her, så er det typisk en form for rabat. Altså det er scholarship, man får fra det udenlandske universitet, som kan være svare til en rabat i procenter eller i et vist fast beløb, som fratrækkes en studieafgift. Der findes selvfølgelig også fulde scholarships, som dækker alt, men det er meget, meget svært at få, hvor de her mindre scholarships, som dækker noget, det er mere realistisk. Det er lidt mere noget, man ser i for eksempel USA og Australien. arbejde under sit studie, eller eventuelt efter, kan også være en mulighed. Banklån, kassekredit, personlig opsparing, forældre kan måske også hjælpe med det her med finansiering. Ja, det var sådan lidt kort omkring finansiering og økonomi. Hvorfor søge gennem Studysea? Jamen altså, vores hjælp er gratis, det koster der ikke noget. Der er sådan set kun fordele ved at benytte dig af vores hjælp og vejledning. Du får personlig vejledning, du øger sandsynligvis din chance for at blive optaget. Kan søge med kort varsel, selvom vi selvfølgelig ikke anbefaler, at man søger med kort varsel, så er det ofte muligt. Gratis verificering af eksamenspapirer. De fleste af vores universiteter godkender, når Studysea verificerer dokumenterne. Typisk, og det er måske mest henvendt til studieophold, at der er ikke nogen pladsbegrænsning, så hvis du vil afsted med en kæreste eller ven, eller resten af klassen, jamen, så tag fat i os, så kan vi højst sandsynligt få det til at lade sig gøre. Tips, legat, søg et eksempel på den gode ansøgning, mød andre studerende via vores Facebook-grupper, bliv en del af vores alumnenetværk, når du kommer hjem. Og ja, så ellers bare muligheden for at studere på et rigtig godt universitet, og eller en meget, meget populær studiedestination. Yes, overblik over økonomien, finansieringsmuligheder. Vi har budgetskabeloner også, som vi gerne deler med jer. Undtagelser i optagelseskriterier. Det er i hvert fald oftest relateret til studieophold, hvor for eksempel engelsk sprogtest og sådan noget kan undværes, hvis man har en vis karakter i engelsk fra gymnasiet. Generelt gør vi, hvad vi kan for, at det bliver så let som muligt at blive optaget som dansk studerende. Altså at ansøgningsprocessen bliver så nem som muligt. Men det er selvfølgelig forskelligt fra universitet til universitet, hvor fleksibelt det er, og hvilke dokumenter osv. der skal med. Næste skridt, hvis du er blevet hooked på at søge ind på Macromedia, Cours Florent, Atelier Chardon eller en af vores andre samarbejdsuniversiteter, så tag endelig fat i os, eventuelt book et vejledningsmøde, hvis du er klar til at søge osv., jamen så tag fat i os, så sender vi dig en ansøgningsvejledning omkring de dokumenter osv., der skal forberedes. Min mail hedder Mickey@studysea.dk.